Good evening. The very idea of President Trump meeting face-to-face the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un would have seemed almost laughable at the start of the year. But today we got the place and the date for the diary and, who knows, for history to be made. Singapore, June the 12th. President Trump said in a tweet that he and Kim would try to make it a very special moment for world peace. And if they make any progress on North Korea giving up its nuclear missiles, he could actually be right.
It's being hailed as the most implausible diplomatic summit for decades, a meeting of two mavericks. The future of the Korean Peninsula and the region at stake. A meeting that will take place in 33 days in Singapore, the island nation that enjoys good relations with both Washington and Pyongyang. The summit's prospects received a major boost overnight with the return to America of the three detainees who had been held in North Korea for over a year. The president himself was on hand in the middle of the night to receive them home. It was a diplomatic triumph for the White House, and strikingly, the president's first words were directed towards the North Korean dictator.
We want to thank Kim Jong-un, who really was excellent to these three incredible people. They are really three incredible people. My proudest achievement will be, this is a part of it, but will be when we denuclearize that entire peninsula. This is what people have been waiting for a long time. Nobody thought we could be on this track in terms of speed. So congratulations on being in this country.
One of the men, Kim Dong-chul, had been sentenced to 10 years of hard labor.
How does it feel to be home?
Accused of espionage.
It's like a dream, and we're very, very happy.
The deal was made by Mike Pompeo, who met Kim for the second time in Pyongyang. Another extraordinary moment broadcast on North Korean TV. The US Secretary of State securing the release of the three and apparently finalizing the logistics for that summit. The president was clearly enjoying this early morning moment. As so often, he was thinking of the TV audience at home.
I think you probably broke the all-time in history television rating for 3 o'clock in the morning, that I would say.
The ultimate ratings, though, may be in Singapore next month. Though a former CIA chief told News at 10 that Trump needs to avoid a trap at the summit.
He clearly responds well to flattery. He clearly responds well to someone who applauds him and says how great he is and offers him something that he can display as a shiny object on television for the American public to show how great his administration is doing. North Korea is going to put something like that on the table.
The president says his goal at the summit is the complete dismantling of the North Korean nuclear arsenal. Tweeting tonight, he hopes to make it a very special moment for world peace, only adding to the perilously high expectations. A few minutes ago, the president left Washington for Indiana. In the last 48 hours alone, he has abandoned a nuclear deal with Iran, yet raised hopes of forging another one with North Korea. Robert Moore, News at 10, Washington.
Analysis on Iran, North Korea and President Trump's role in both of them with our international affairs editor, Raghi Omar. I mean, to reflect on what Johnny was saying there, it was remarkable how quickly this flared in the wake of America pulling out of the Iran deal. How perilous a moment is it, in your view?
I don't think it's that perilous. I mean, what it does, as Johnny was alluding to, is that it brings into the open what has been a shadow war up until now between Israel and Iran. It's been going on for quite a while, and what's accentuated that is the large and increasing military presence and assets that Iran has in Syria right on Israel's borders, something that Israel has said it cannot allow, and it does not want to see a further entrenchment. Iran now has a land bridge between Iran, through Iraq, through Syria, all of whom are pro-Iranian governments, right up to Israel's border. It was calibrated from both sides, though. We saw Avigdor Lieberman, the Israeli defense minister, saying he hopes that's where it would end. So the Iranians, you know, hit missiles in order to show that they were not going, they had to respond somehow. They will stop there, and I think the Israelis do. But it will continue as long as these two are there on the border.
So let's look ahead now to June the 12th. We've got a date now for this remarkable encounter between Trump and North Korea.
Yeah.
What is the effect of Trump's move on the Iran deal have on that meeting?
I think, well, first of all, it just throws more confusion into the art of diplomacy as practiced by Donald Trump, because on the one hand, you effectively break and destroy the Iran nuclear deal, although the Europeans have said they will stay in it. But yet you want to make a deal with one country that definitely has nuclear weapons, but break an agreement with someone who clearly, according to the IAEA, doesn't have one. I think the one thing that Iranians will be looking at is that, according to this sort of kind of diplomacy, you're far better off with nuclear weapons dealing with the world. That is the ultimate guarantor.
OK, Ravi, thank you very much indeed for that.